All right, another big change with Etsy. Did you guys see this? There are now 20 photo spots for your listings. And this raises a question a lot of people are asking. Do you have to do 20 photos? If you don't do 20 photos, is it going to hurt you? Is it going to hurt your performance? So today's video, I'm going to cover all that, what you need to know, and give you some really good options and a game plan to have 20 photos and some good ideas that you can use immediately in your listings to get up to those 20 photos. So let's just dive right into this. Here is your whole game plan that I'm going to go through with you today. So first and foremost, when you should and shouldn't use 20 photos. Let's kind of talk about this. So you should use 20 photos to help a buyer decide, to help a buyer make a buying decision. So if you have more complex items with a lot of details that requires more explanation and visual aids, or maybe you have more variations, this can become really helpful for a lot of people that have a lot of variations, because before you would have to do, like kind of like a collage, which you can do pretty easily in Canva. You can collage your variations together in one photo. But again, if you have a lot of variations, it becomes really jumbled. So now you kind of break that out a little bit more. Now, if you have simple products, you may not need to use all 20. So you really have to be careful to avoid repeats or fluff photos, and especially avoid duplicates. If you just do the same photo 5, 10 times, it's going to be very irritating to buyers and really kind of spammy. So don't do it just to check a box and do it. If you're going to do it, it has to be strategic, and that's why I'm doing this video, because I have a lot of really good photo ideas that I'm going to break out that's going to help buyers make a buying decision quicker and help your conversion rate so that you can get sales, because the photos, the video, it plays together to help people make a buying decision faster and also add value to your listing and what you're selling. So here's the photo ideas, and what I did too is I created a guide that I'm going to put. Here's the really in-depth guide that I'm actually going to share inside my Etsy Games VIP community. So if you guys want to check that out, you can. There's a free trial right now. After that, it's just $10 a month. Similar programs are literally hundreds and hundreds or thousands of dollars. I wanted to give you as much value as possible for a very minimal investment in your business. So it's a positive, motivational place you can come, hang out, learn. We do live group calls. I have a ton of resources in here. It's a positive, motivational group, not some spammy, weird Facebook group where someone's going to try and steal your information or trick you or do some weird stuff. So I wanted a positive, safe community. So there's a link below if you guys want to try that out. I'd love to see you inside there. All right, so let's dive into these photo ideas so you guys can start implementing this stuff right away. So first and foremost, variation. So this is going to be the big one to the most helpful part of this is for variation. So if you have a lot of designs, colors, sizes, styles, you can now break that out with more photos, which is going to be really good to showcase those variations in your item. The other idea you want to make sure to do this is showing your item in use. There's a reason why people pay thousands of dollars to stage their houses when they're selling them, because people have a hard time visualizing things. They have a hard time visualizing their furniture in the space. They just, they can't really imagine things really well. So this is helping them, visualize it, helping them see it, helping them see themselves wearing the item or using the item. So help them help you, help them, whatever, something like that. And so you want to help them visualize it. So show the item in use, show it being in its natural setting, show it being used or worn or whatever the case may be. So another way, every angle, every view of your item, and this is more necessary depending for some niches and less necessary for other niches. So if you're, some things have, you want to try and take a 360 view with your photos of the item. Now, if you're selling like a piece of art, like canvas wall art, obviously taking a photo of the back of that isn't really that helpful. It's not really necessary. People know kind of like, okay, the back of it's just like a wood frame. They don't really necessarily need to see that. It's not going to help them make a buying decision. So that is, you can take it from different sides and different perspectives, but you're not going to have to get the back of it. So just really depends what you're selling, how useful that is. Packaging. This is a really big one that a lot of people miss. A lot of people are buying gifts on Etsy, and Etsy wants to be known as the place to go to buy gifts. And when you buy gifts for someone, you want to make sure not only that the product is good, but you want to make sure that they're not getting terrible packaging. Like if they get the item and it's in a garbage bag, it doesn't look really good, right? So showcase your packaging. Show like not only are you taking care in packaging it, so it's not going to come broken, it's actually going to look nice. If you're buying a gift for mom, you want to make sure, hey, mom's going to be wowed with the packaging, and then open it and get the actual gift. So you can show the steps. You can show it being packaged. You can show a sequential order of things, and then its final packaging, especially if you have fragile items, show it being wrapped, show it being placed inside a box, show it being, very well taken care of. That's going to go a long way. Size and scale comparison. So this is another great visual aid for people. So people have a hard time, again, visualizing stuff and how big it is. You can tell someone that your item is 4 inches or 5 inches, but still, like visually, they're like, okay, how big really is that? Where if you have like a soda can or like a penny beside it, they can instantly visualize that because they know exactly how big those items are. So from a visual standpoint, it's going to really help give them the information they need right away to make a decision. Don't put that obviously as your first photo because it's going to look weird. You put your item beside a soda can, but in your later photos, you want to do that. Your process. This is really important to show that you're a real person, a real seller. You really take the important steps to provide a quality item, make a quality item. So show your process, maybe show the steps on how it's made to help give them that visual information. And this is kind of plays with this one too. Make your credibility, show your team holding or making the product. These kind of play hand in hand. So show them, give them behind the scenes. It looks, people love behind the scenes stuff. So especially if you're making the actual item, you can kind of show the process that you're going through. And it also helps showcase your item as a quality item. You're showing a lot of quality goes into it step by step. They can kind of see the steps that you're taking to put the item together. Now, if you don't make your item, maybe you do like print on demand or something like that, you can still show the behind the scenes, like you designing the item and those steps. So whether you actually make it or you design it and have, one of those, you play a part, whatever part you play, you can still showcase that. Care instructions. So this is cool. So if you have an item that needs to be taken care of, maybe like a piece of jewelry or whatever the case may be, you can put that. So a lot of people don't think of pictures as words, but you can use Canva and turn words into pictures and put the most important information in your picture section because people don't read most of your listing. They don't read a lot of your description. So take advantage, and some things you can be a little bit redundant on, especially the most important things, and put those in your picture section because people are seeing that first. They're scrolling by very easily. So you can kind of hit the most important bits of information and also use one of your picture spots. Order instructions. So this is a big miss for a lot of people, especially for like personalization, digital downloads, customized products. You want to make sure to put the order instructions as a picture, also in your description. Make it as clear and redundant because it's very important, because if people are confused, they're not sure how to do something, they're not going to buy. Confused people don't buy. So use your pictures to your advantage to tell them how to do the personalization, how to submit the order. I know for us that are in Etsy every day, it may seem simple, but there's a lot of people that are new to Etsy still, and they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to check out. They're not clear on how the personalization works or where to submit the information. So that is really important for them to be able to reduce friction and buy. So make sure you're using the pictures for that. Holiday and shipping deadlines. This is another big one too. You can use a picture for that and then take it down after the holiday. You can also put that in your description because people need to know. They don't want to have to reach out and ask like, hey, am I going to get this by Christmas? Just do a deadline. So deadline, I think for Christmas, usually for me is like December 15th, but USPS will release the actual shipping deadlines. Usually it's like 17th or 18th. I like to give a buffer, so I don't usually use those dates. I go a little bit before, because if someone reaches out to me like the 16th and like, can I still get this? I'm like, okay, yeah, you can. But I don't want people ordering 17th or 18th at the USPS deadline and then something happening with USPS and them still not getting in time. Who are they going to take that out on? You as a seller, not USPS. So I like to give a little bit of a buffer there, but let them know because that will increase conversion if they know they can still get it in time and it's very clear. That is really good to do. Social proof, this is a big one. So if you have reviews, share them in your pictures section. And it doesn't even have to be for your item. It can be for other items, but you can showcase that people are happy with whatever they buy from your shop. They want to know that they're going to be making a good purchase decision and they're going to be happy with their purchase. So reviews are a good way to do that. So you can create an image in Canva, have a couple of reviews together and pop them in there and show that people are happy. Reviews are really important, so you might as well leverage them to your advantage and show social proof. Now, I know it does show reviews that later down in your listing, but again, a little bit of redundancy with the most important information as they're going boom, boom, boom through the pictures can really go a long way, and social proof really matters, especially with reviews. The first thing we all do is look at reviews, so we need to use those to our advantage. Problem and solution. This is a really cool one. So if your item solves a problem and your product's the solution, demonstrate that. You can show that in a picture. You can do a before and after. So depending on what you're selling, this may be applicable for you. Some niches it may not apply, but think about it a little bit more dynamically. How can you do a problem and solution picture? And it can really help sell your item. Policy reminders. This is a good one too. If you have some most important policies, but you have to be careful with this. You don't want to be like slapping them with a ruler and telling them, no, don't do this, because it can seem like kind of icky and like turned off, but if you have like something just like a friendly reminder, make it playful, make it friendly, and, use this minimally. But like if you sell POD and they do multiple orders, they may be shipped separately or something like that. So depending on the most common questions that you get and the most important information, you may want to just pop in a few policy reminders there so they have that information readily available. So that is it. Those are the smart photo ideas that I wanted to go over with you. Again, there's that full guide. I'm going to pop this full guide inside the Etsy Games community for you guys, but there's some additional stuff on there, but I covered most of it. All right, the next part of this I wanted to cover, and it is really important, is photo SEO. So how does this impact you when it comes to SEO? So a couple of key points here, a couple of things to kind of keep in mind is, the first, it doesn't hurt your listings or shop not to use all 20 photos. So don't feel like you're going to get dinged by not doing this, but it can certainly help you when it comes to alt text. So alt text is the written text on your photos or behind the scenes with your photos describing what they are. So alt text was originally formulated for the blind community so they could hover over images and basically it would tell them what the image is. But this also can help you when it comes to SEO because you're getting more information inside your listing and you're using keywords inside your alt text. So it's all about, SEO really is all about getting more lines in the water. And all of these things kind of play into that. When you're doing alt text, that's more data, more information in your listing. And then obviously, you have your title with all these keywords, and then you have your description with all these keywords, and then you have, your tags with keywords. So these are all lines in the water that helps the algorithm find your customer, find the person that's going to want to buy your thing. So it's all about taking advantage of the different aspects in your listings to try and give the algorithm more data and showcase what you're selling even more. So you're probably asking, what the heck is alt text? Where do I do it? Where do I find it? So if you go in your listings inside the pictures, if you click on the picture, you will see an alt text box here. And a little bit different than your title and tags. You don't just want to put like 14 karat gold necklace, dainty necklace. This is where you want to write it a little bit more in sentence, 1 or 2 sentences. So you can put, and you're going to naturally put your keywords in here. So you're going to put, women wearing 14 karat gold dainty necklace that falls gently on her collarbones in between her opened white shirt blouse or something like that. So you can see I'm including dainty gold necklace, 14 karat gold necklace, those important keywords, but I'm writing it naturally. So if someone is basically asking to describe this picture, I'm doing it. And you can see where there's 20 photos. This is enabling you to put 20 photos worth of alt text. That's a lot of additional information that the algorithms and AI overviews is going to analyze. So this is going to become really big for AI because they are using those sentences and what the item is and who it's for and how it's looking to basically find that those listings and find that information and then show it to the people looking for that. So it's another way to basically leverage that. So here's how you get it. Now, kind of a key here, and this is where people get a little confused. Make sure you're clicking on the picture, right, to bring up the alt text. If you're clicking on this pencil, it's going to bring up the different ways to edit this picture, and you're not going to see alt text here. So that's the key difference. A lot of people are like, well, I don't see alt text. Well, don't click on the pencil, click on the actual picture itself, and then you will see the alt text. So it can be a lot of additional work, but you can see how you can leverage it to help you even more in your listings. So even if you have, the words, like if you're showcasing like care instructions and stuff like that, you can still have a sentence or two and be like, this is the care instructions for this 14 karat gold dainty necklace. And you're getting those keywords, the main core keywords, back in your listing again, and building relevancy. And if you have, those main keywords in your title, in your description, in your tags, in your alt text, it is really doing a good job showcasing what that item is. So when people are looking for it, if you have that relevancy and that little bit of redundancy, it's really going to bode well for giving you the highest probability of showing in front of the audience that is looking for your thing. And you can compete a lot better than the people that are not doing it that way and that are not taking advantage of every opportunity in your listing. And I know, I get it. Listing, everyone says it, whether you're selling on Etsy, eBay, Poshmark, the least favorite thing to do is listings, right? Everyone's like, oh God, I hate doing listings. It sucks. You're a creator. You like creating the thing. You like making the thing. When it comes to selling the thing with your listing, it's the least favorite, but it's also the most important thing. So we got to spend that extra time, do it the right way to increase our chances. You already spent all the time creating or designing the item. So take it to over the goal line, right? Don't just take it to the 1 yard line and stop. Take it to the goal line. Get the touchdown, right? Add the old text in the thing, and that will really start to set you apart from the rest. Those little things really, really help. But that's it, guys. Those are the ideas for you that you can start using this and leveraging this to your advantage. With especially new listings, think about how you can do this and then slowly set a goal to go back and update old listings. Again, if it applies to you and you want to take advantage of all these photo ideas. Again, I hope to see you over in the Etsy Games VIP community so you can get help with SEO, get help with everything that you need, be positive, get motivation. And again, all new members, I do a one-on-one coaching call with you. So I go over your shop, best practices. I give you it's a really good springboard for me to get to know you and what you're doing, what you're trying to do, and kind of give you a game plan going forward. And then you have the community to come back in and work with me even more and ask questions and get feedback and all the things that I wish I had when I was starting my shop. The support that I didn't have. I was like a lost little kid running around in a forest, not knowing what the heck I was doing and making a lot of mistakes. So that's what I want to help you guys avoid. So that is it for today. Hopefully that helps you out. I'll be back soon with some more good stuff for you. Have an amazing rest of your day.